Now, I'm very lucky to introduce an incredibly talented young musician called Hannah Brock. A lot of the talks today connect in different ways to the Aldeburgh music legacy. Jennifer's viola playing, Benjamin Britten, our founder, was a great viola player. Kathy Hind reminding us about the importance of place, which this place is certainly very important to this particular musical centre. Vince and his discussion about creativity, and goodness knows there's been enough creativity here over the last 64 years. But another very important part of the Aldeburgh makeup is the encouragement of talent, young talent in particular. And in fact, right from the first concert in the first Aldeburgh Festival back in 1948, young performers were there right in the middle of the performance during the Aldeburgh Festival. And one of the things that's most excited me here in Aldeburgh in the last few years is the creation of something called Aldeburgh Young Musicians. Aldeburgh Young Musicians is a project for children of exceptional potential from the east of England, mainly from Norfolk and Suffolk and Cambridgeshire, but not exclusively so. It's a group that is founded to help these youngsters, give them additional musical training. And one of the really exciting things about Aldeburgh Young Musicians is it's really starting to forge a very different way for young musicians to work. Partly because each year we audition and attract 45 youngsters from around the region, and we don't choose a particular selection of musicians or instruments so that we create, say, a traditional orchestra. We just take the 45 best. So you can end up with an extraordinary range of musical talent and different musical instruments. And one of the most interesting and extraordinary is Hannah Brock, who you're about to hear, who is a young, believe it or not, 12-year-old, you won't believe it when you've heard her play, from Cambridgeshire, who joined Aldeburgh Young Musicians last year. And when my colleague Colin was just doing the auditions in Cambridge, there arrived this young, slightly shy girl who sat down to play this traditional Chinese harp called a Guzheng, which is not exactly what you're expecting to hear on a sort of long day's auditioning in Cambridge. She played it, and Colin was absolutely bowled over and amazed by her talent and her musicianship. And he sort of was surprised that a Guzheng player was there in front of him and said, you know, how come you play this instrument, and where on earth do you get your lessons? And Hannah, slightly sort of plaintively, I think, said, well, actually, I have a teacher in China, and we try and Skype each other, and it's not very easy. But as you'll see, that's been no barrier at all to her extraordinary musicianship. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Aldeburgh Young musician Hannah Brock.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the piece I'm going to play is called The Fight of the Typhoon, and it's more about the excitement of the typhoon instead of the destruction it causes. And this instrument is an ancient Chinese harp, as you've been told, and it is a plucked instrument with extended nails. Yeah, and yes, so this piece is more about how exciting it is to have a typhoon, not about how sad the destruction is.